5 seconds to go. Start. I begin this concurring opinion with a preface that I completely and unreservedly agree with the findings and conclusions recorded in the comprehensive judgment of Justice Bela Trivedi. I also hasten to add that I deem this effort not as an attempt to speak for the sake of speaking and thereby adding little value to Justice Trivedi's analysis, but only essentially to point to a slightly different direction, which is the need to interpret the statute in the context of the circumstances that resulted in its birth. To place the matter in perspective, what is in issue is the true interpretation of the expression with sexual intent touches the vagina, penis, anus, or breast of the child at someone's behest. Such an act under Section 7 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012 POCSO hereafter is an offence of sexual assault and punishable under Section 8 according to the interpretation placed by the High Court. For any act to be an offence, the touching of any of the parts mentioned by the statute, vagina, penis, anus, or breast, must be of the organ, and there should be a skin to skin contact. I do not see the need to recount the facts or the arguments which have been fairly and accurately set out in Trivedi's judgment. Instead, I proceed with the task of interpretation of provisions of POCSO and the proper rule of interpretation which should be adopted in such cases. Long ago, in Reserve Bank of India versus Peerless General Finance and Investment Company Limited and others, this court observed the need to contextualize the provisions of any law which requires interpretation even while focusing on its text. If a statute is looked at in the context of its enactment with the glasses of the statute maker provided by such context, its scheme, the sections, clauses, phrases, and words may take color and appear different than when the statute is looked at without the glasses provided by the context. With these glasses, we must look at the act as a whole and discover what each section, each clause, each phrase, and each word is meant and designed to say as to fit into the scheme of the entire act. No part of a statute and no word of a statute can be construed in isolation. Statutes have to be construed so that every word has a place and everything is in its place. The question then is whether touching has an intrinsic meaning, as Ellis said, or whether it means only something that judges say it means, no more, no less. One time tested and well accepted mode of interpreting a statute, especially a new statute, is to apply the mischief rule first spoken of in Haydn's case, which contains a 4-point formula acting as an aid in construing a new law or provision. These are firstly, what was the common law before the making of the act? Secondly, what was the mischief and defect for which the common law did not provide? Thirdly, what remedy Parliament resolved and appointed to cure the disease plaguing the society? And lastly, the true reason of the remedy. Stop.